Alright, it's just a little bit later from the last video. I decided to go ahead and tear it apart on camera anyway. I've already got all the rod bearing caps. I've got all those measured. Those are like 2/1000ths clearance, so they're good. They got a few, little score marks on them. I'll just put new bearings in it and loop them real good. It's probably where it sits so long and dirt or dust got in there, so whatever. But I'd like to clear up one thing. The front piston was in backwards. All the piston numbers go toward the cam side. I thought that was right, and I thought I had said it wrong. And I did. I said the numbers went toward the oil side, and that's not correct. All the piston numbers go toward the cam side. And I know that I put it in the last video, but I'm going to say it again. All the numbers on the pistons, and I've already got one out. It come out real easy. The numbers are stamped here on the side, and the numbers will go toward the cam side. Okay, so I fixed my first mistake, and I should have known it that this piston was in backwards because the number was toward the oil side. But anyway, that was the bad news. The good news is somebody put M&W pistons in here, which is really cool. So, but there's a little play in them from side to side. I don't know if it's the wrist pin or the bushing in the rod itself. Once we get into that, we'll figure that out. So anyway, I'm gonna carefully lay this down here, and I've got the right bearing caps with the right piston. So I'm going to take the back off, back cover off, and we can pull the crank out. Okay, the crank is ready to come out, and also too, because I found that after double checking myself, found out the first piston, the number one piston, was in backwards. So I'm also going to check the main bearing caps and make sure that those are in the, or were in the right way. Big crank, ain't it? It looks really good. There's a little bit of wear on it. It maybe just, well, not really wear. You can see like the little lines in it where a little grit got between it. We might be able to just polish it and not really have to grind it. I'm gonna measure everything before I take it to the machine shop. So, set it down right here. Okay, let's pull the pistons out, and I'll put the bearing caps on those so they stay together. Yep. Well, I'm not gonna be able to get this one out this way. This one has to go through the bottom. There we go. Or through the top, rather. I'm backwards. Yeah. So a little side to side to play on this one as well. And this one is number one. Okay. Number three. And number four. Okay. here. All right, I'm gonna have to find something to put all my keepers and stuff in, so I'm gonna pause the video here for a minute so I don't lose none of these parts, and then I'll come back at you in just a few. So stay tuned. Okay, I did get the hydraulic pump off, and I cannot get the cam out because of the valve springs. They're not letting the tappets go all the way down, so I'm gonna have to pick up a pair of valve spring compressors tomorrow and finish that up. So stay tuned for that. And like I said, I'm gonna finish out the video with a valve train, and that'll be it for this video. Then the next video, we'll start in on measuring the cam and the crank, measuring all the lobes and the journals to make sure they're within tolerance before we send that block out to get it machined if needed, but I'm pretty sure it will. And we also need to check the wrist pins on the pistons because there's some play in there and I don't like it. So anyway, I'm gonna stop here and close up for tonight and go to town and get the valve spring compression pliers, and we'll finish this up. So thanks for watching and stay tuned for the end of the video. Good morning. Finally got a chance to get back down here and take the valves out of the block so I can get the cam and stuff off. So anyway, I ordered a valve spring compressor and it didn't work. It was definitely for small engines only, so I had to wait till this one come in. Now I'm good. I've already taken one of the valves out here on cylinder number 1, and the valve guides feel really good, really tight. So we're just gonna keep it like that. And I've got back here 4 tubs, Rubbermaid totes, and it's not a paid endorsement either. So I'm gonna keep everything piston 1 or cylinder 1, cylinder 2, cylinder 3, cylinder 4. So that way nothing gets mixed up, so everything goes back in. And when I'm gonna order the tool to pull the guides out because they feel really good, so I'm just gonna keep them. So no more talking, let's get to work and get this thing out. Okay, that's all the valves and keepers in the correct bins. So, all right, I'm gonna take my needle nose and pull the springs, or see if I can get the springs out. Okay, we're back. I'm going to take the idler off. Of course, the water neck still got to come off, but make sure I get everything out of this block that that block needs. All right, idler is off. And I'll make sure I bag that. Okay, see if we can get this out of here. Easy. Okay, there's the cam. It looks pretty decent. In the next video, I'll show you how to measure the lobes and stuff. And we are going to put the tappets in their corresponding boxes. All look pretty good too. So, okay. Anyway, that's it for the engine teardown for the Farmall Cub. Like I said, I'm going to measure the valve stems, but the way they felt and the valve guides were really good, and there was no play in them at all. So I'm safe to assume that they're good. I mean, everything in here, other than the few little scratches on the crank, I mean, that's the only thing that I've really found. So, but I'm gonna measure the journals on that, and if I can just let it go and put new bearings in it without having to get it ground or polished, we're good. So anyway, stay tuned for the next video when we're actually going to measure the journals and the lobes on the cams. So thanks a lot and have a good afternoon. We'll see you in the next video.